Afternoon, this is Kop Talk and FTV Sports. I'm joined by Potsy Talks Footy.
Jem.
LFC TikToker out there. If you haven't watched his watch-alongs, go and watch them. They're brilliant. And this is our reaction to Liverpool 3, Crystal Palace 0. Patrick still can't get a good, decent memory at Anfield. What was it you said his last one was? Was it you, the Neil Mellor?
He was obviously Arsenal's goal scorer for the Neil Mellor volley. That's his most memorable moment at Anfield.
Yeah, and it's still that way now. Oh, okay. So after all that conversation and trying to predict the lineup on Thursday night, this is what he came with.
Yeah, it was a massive surprise because obviously we were just talking about like the midfield or the attack. I don't think any of us considered any changes within the defense, and he goes and changes 3. So
the whole, pretty much the whole defense from Wednesday night.
Yeah, it was the entire defense from Wednesday. Obviously, we were expecting Van Dijk to return, but
yeah,
I don't think we were expecting Konate to make his debut yet. Obviously, we thought that the fullbacks would be as they are. So yeah, it was a massive surprise, and with making that many changes in the defense, it doesn't matter how good the players are. If they're not playing consistently together, it can always be a risky choice. So obviously, it's paid off today with another clean sheet. But yeah, definitely a surprise when I first saw it.
So I think Trent's just got a cold or something, hasn't he? But it's not an injury.
No, he's got an illness. Hasn't been specified what it is. Obviously, Robbo was on the bench today. I don't know if he's, if Klopp's deciding to maybe rest him a bit more, maybe because of Kostas's impressive performances at the start of the season, he trusts him a bit more.
I think it's that. I think he thinks we can't just sit you on the bench anymore, waiting for Robertson to be under the weather or under par. You're gonna have to rotate him in now. He's not giving him an option to not do that, I think, from his performances.
Yeah, because I mean, let's face it, Robbo's never under par. That's the thing with Robbo. The only way you're going to get him out is if he gets injured, and he just never does. And even when he does, he just comes back a week later from a broken ankle.
And that's why we've never really seen Tsimikas.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad, though. I am glad. I do like Kostas. He seems to fit in well with the group. Has a bit of banter with them, the Greek Scouser. So I'm glad that
his 100 goals shirt saying it was Salah's combined number of goals. I like the team little vibes going on. Everyone seems to fit in, don't they? So the defense was a complete change up. Obviously still had Becker in goal. He didn't get much of a workout anyway, did he, Wednesday? Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago. Obviously, we'll discuss Thiago a bit in a minute. That was what we predicted, wasn't it? As a midfield, solid, experienced. And then, as we thought up front, Mane, Salah and Jota. So I'll take that down. So you've watched first half. How did we set up? Who looked interesting? Obviously, should we get on to Konate first?
Yeah, I mean...
Debut in the Premier League.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think many people were expecting it this early. I think we were all thinking he was being safe for the League Cup game for his debut, but he looked okay. I wouldn't say he did anything significant apart from in the second half, which we'll get on to. But yeah, I think especially for him as well, it's going to be a great confidence booster to come away from that with a clean sheet and making his debut at Anfield. So.
That's all you want as a defender, isn't it? Is a clean sheet, and I'm loving these clean sheets. We've not had many dirty sheets, have we, at the moment? It feels really good. From last season, having all these issues, it is really nice to have that goal difference. I had a little look just now. Our goal difference is looking very nice. It's quite important to me, goal differences. Milner, how did he do? He's just slots in anywhere, doesn't he? Like, do you know what? We're missing someone there. Milner, handle it. I reckon he could take in the goalkeeper if needed be. I reckon he'd fit in there as well.
probably would be the Yorkshire Buffon. He's he's just absolutely brilliant. I was surprised as well because the thought of obviously Trent being out, but whoever you're going to play there has got to go up against Wilfried Zaha, who's always dangerous. So for me, I thought it would be Joe Gomez, match him athletically. But Jimmy Milner, he's just Mr. Reliable, and he's Mr. Shithouse. He did a couple of things.
Wind Milner up.
Yeah, he wound up Zaha a couple of times. He probably should have had a booking for out there. Like the number of tackles he put in.
It would be the other way around, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he was just winding up Zaha. Zaha's every 5 minutes he was just sitting on the pitch with his arms up, wondering where the foul is. Millie, you could just trust Millie to get in there and do a job. And he did it very well, especially against a player as dangerous as Zaha.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw him now, I just thought, okay, that'll do. He's not gonna, Tangy got all wound up, got a red card and stuff. There's no way you could wind up James Milner. Like, you're the one getting wound up. And then Tsimikas, then he same as always.
Yeah,
not much different than Robbo, really.
Yeah, I mean, you can trust in Kostas at the moment. There was maybe a couple of occasions where he was a little bit more aggressive than he needed to be, gave away a couple of silly fouls, but apart from that, he was comfortable. We know how good he is with his crosses as well, and he's just a top player, and I think it's a fantastic backup of Robertson, and I really hope this is a sign of things to come where we can give Andy Robertson a little break and let Kostas get a few more games, especially with the Champions League run now as well.
Yeah, this was it. When we've had these competitions before, we won the Champions League and we won the Premier League, but if we're going to try and challenge for both at the same time, each position, we need top class cover for each one, and I think we found that in Tsimikas. Definitely, I'm quite happy with either one starting a game. I'd be comfortable, not worried. Quite like that. Let's just do some comments quickly. Got our little boys there. Reese, oi, Reese.
How you doing, mate?
Good day. Told you it would be an easy game. You did indeed. You got I had faith in the team, but I just knew, that some of these games, new manager coming in, Patrick, feeling high off of beating Spurs. Yeah.
Listen, in a sense, I mean, in a sense, though, I would say 3-0, it can be considered a bit harsh on Palace. Like I said, we'll go through, because it was a game of two halves. So we'll go through that once we get through the comments.
Cool. We've got Amundi from the Man United Agenda. He loves us too. Skinning and winning. Well done. He is really rotating the squad and getting results. This is what I'm saying. This is what I love. The squad's being rotated, but we still play the Liverpool way. It doesn't matter who comes in. We still play with the same tactics, the same style of play that is Liverpool, and everyone fits into that. Reese Kanate, what a game. Do you know what? A clean sheet. You can't ask for more. FTV Sports. Yes, please hit the like button. We love to see the thumbs ups. Really makes our day. Keita, what a goal. On Monday, great to see Keita on the score sheet. I actually watched the game live for once. Yay. I helped Reese out on that one, but on an app. Yeah, I know, Reese. I know. He's managing the squad well. I won't be able to predict a burnout anymore. Yeah, see, this was Amundi always been saying for a while now that our front team's just going to get burnt out from playing this high press football. But yeah, I've always just said it's rubbish. It's rubbish. They're all up and ready for it. Plus with this rotation now, they can all see it. Evening, Anthony, my fellow Bristolian Gooner. Good win for us today. It really, really was. Thiago subbed off. You shared Kop's comments about him, and he really trying to get him to adapt to the system. Yeah, so I'll get on to that in a second. like Monday said, he can rotate the team and get results. Yeah. So we'll come on to those. Some of those comments, we'll come on to that in a second. So Potsy, if you want to talk us through the game then. So the first half.
Yeah, the first half, we just absolutely bossed it. Palace had a chance within the first couple of minutes that Alisson really good save from Zaha. But apart from that, they didn't do anything. We controlled the game, dictated the tempo. Jota, man, honestly, I don't know if you've seen it online or anything, but Jota missed an absolute sitter.
I'm hearing his touch a bit off today.
Yeah, he didn't have a great game overall. But yeah, I don't know if that miss had anything to do with it. It was a great little build-up play, like a triangle at the right. It goes out to Hendo, puts the ball in. Thiago comes in with a flying header. Great save by Keita, and all Jota has to do is just tap it in, and he just volleys it over. It's not what you expect from him, especially with the form he's been in. Yeah, what really impressed me as well, I don't know if it's because, our two regular fullbacks and corner takers were out, but our set pieces today, very good. So all three of our goals came off the back of the set pieces from corners, which is, for me, I've said it in many of these shows so far, I'm so worried about not being able to get past the first man, but it was a header from Salah, which Mane, got in, tapped in, 100th goal for Liverpool. The guy, like I said, we want Sadio Mane to do well. We want him to get back to what he was. A couple of early goals for this season.
That little goal might have just kicked him on a bit. It's kind of like you get that little hesitance because he needs to get that goal, and hopefully now it's just going to start flowing in. But yeah, I think that was the 9th time in a row he scored against Crystal Palace, wasn't it? He's like breaking records today. So yeah, his 100th goal for Liverpool, and he's the only player to score 9 times in a row against the same team. So Crystal Palace must really hate him like Norwich hates Salah,
Absolutely. But yeah, he was good today as well, Mane. It wasn't too bad. And then second half it sort of changed. I don't know if like the AC Milan game caught up to us for a bit in that game, but Palace really put us under a lot of pressure without really being able to be in a position to pull the trigger. Our defense, considering how different it was, fair play to them. They stood strong. Alisson threw himself in, some dangerous positions, which he always does. You can always trust in him to go down head first to jump on that ball. Nice. And Edouard had a really good opportunity. All he had to do really was just hit it on the volley, but he just decided to take a touch first, and Alisson was just right at his feet. But then obviously
with Becker.
Yeah. But then of course that's the one part as well, actually, that really impressed me with Konate as well. The ball came over for Edouard and he was running onto it, and Konate was fighting with him. And it looked like he got the better of Konate, and it looked like Alisson had to make the save. But when you look at the replay, Konate manages to get back and get his foot in the way just before. Obviously, Alisson needs to get involved, and it was a really good position for Edouard. So that really impressed me with Konate in terms of his recovery and his pace. He is quick, and obviously Edouard came off the bench today, so he was fresh legs at that time, and Konate did really well to get himself in the way of that, and that again should help his confidence. But it seems to be like the Liverpool way, just like we dominate the possession and everything in the first half, and didn't really create anything of chance apart from Jota's opportunity. But then the second half, when we're under a bit more pressure, that's when we get our 2 goals again. Both off the back of a set piece, Van Dijk heading it, and then it falls into the path of Salah to volley it in. And then, of course, Keita's volley. Look, everyone knows I'm one of his biggest critics. And look, one goal is
always flattering, isn't it?
Yeah, one goal isn't going to change my perception at the moment. But I just hope it gives him the confidence to start putting in the performances we know that he can. But it was a hell of a hit. Like, just first time, ball's over, and it's just standing there like Cantona against Sunderland after his chip.
It was definitely a worldie, definitely. But again, you can't be blinded by a one-off goal to think.
No. I mean, he came off. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what everyone's saying, and it is good. I'm so happy that it was him in a way to get that goal, because if anyone needed a little boost, especially we'll get onto the Thiago situation as well now, especially with Thiago coming off. If anybody needed a boost today, it was Naby, you know. So I'm sure Naby lad getting the Brody is going to do him the world of good. I am hoping. Let's see when he gets played next. I'm really interested to see who we play against Norwich now. The way,
I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Konate and Gomez, and maybe Matip and Gomez now.
Yeah.
You know, he may put them in now.
Switching it right up. Nobody. What's going to come now is no one's going to ever be able to predict who we're going to play, and maybe he likes that. I think Klopp. I think he loves the idea that nobody will be able to predict. No one will say, "This is your set first 11." I think he'll enjoy that. Moving on to Thiago. I know Amundi said something earlier. So Klopp came out to, I'm not sure if it was today or yesterday, and he kind of, in a press conference, he was kind of saying what he expected from Thiago, because I know it's questioned a lot. And he said he just expects him to bring what he is. He's a very technical player and a playmaker, but at the same time, he has to adapt. So sometimes he has to defend and drop back. He has to. So he has to adapt to the Liverpool way. But he said that he basically brings something different that we might need in some games than other games. It's just what we basically said, is he was bringing to give us another dimension when we want to bring on a playmaker. And he said he just wants him to sit in that middle bit and get in between the lines. And he said he's like a golfer. That's what he basically said. Like, he just wants him sat in between the lines, just hitting the balls out. And he said, like golf, basically. But he came off today, didn't he? Is there any updates on that, or have you heard anything?
I haven't heard anything, no, but I'm assuming it's a muscle injury.
What minute was it he came off?
69th, I think, something like that. Yeah, it was a muscle injury. He went in for a tackle on Zaha, and he just seemed to come off worse. It's just like we got the ball back in that tackle and then carried on playing, but he was just sat off the pitch. He just knew that something had gone. What it is, I don't know yet. I haven't seen anything online in regards to.
Just having a quick look now.
Yeah, the update in regards to that.
Minor injury, it's just a calf issue.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully it is, because I mean, again, I thought he was good today. You know, didn't run the show like he did against Leeds, but he had a good few moments, and I'm loving his flying headers as well. I saw the one against Leeds. He had another one today. Like, I'm loving this new whatever the hell Klopp's asking him to do with it. It's absolutely great. Like,
look, a great like Thiago, and he's molding him into something like a Liverpool Thiago, isn't it? You know, he's turning Thiago Scouse. I'm loving it, and I love that he did just come out and say, like he has to adapt and play our way. It's not like we're ever going to bring anyone in and we're going to adapt to their play. You know, everyone comes in, it's our way, and you fall in line. And I love that about our team, and I love that about Klopp. I've got the stats here as well from the game. We'll get onto the goals after. Well, we've gone through the goals pretty much, but so looking at that, 25 shots and 10 on target. It's just nearly every game we've had this season. I feel like that's the tale of it, isn't it? We've had so many shots.
Yeah.
It's just finally some are actually going in more and more.
I mean, look, you don't get anywhere without, striking the ball. So obviously, similar like Crystal Palace's, that 13, probably looks better than what it was for them. In a sense, in terms of the chances they made. Alisson really didn't have a lot to do after that Zaha save in the second minute, in terms of being stretched. So, for us, it's definitely a positive. Quite a few, long ranges, which is good to see as well. Something, that we seem to have added into the game this season from last year, trying to, go for those wildies. And, overall, like I said, I think 3-0 flatters us a little bit in terms of the way that Palace played. I think they were definitely a lot. And we knew they were going to be tough anyway.
Well, you have to take your chances, you know, and that's why
Yeah,
we've
exactly.
got great defense and a great goalkeeper. And I mean, you look at those 3 offsides, you have to make sure you hold that back line. And that's something I think we do well with Virgil on as well, is we make sure we hold that line.
Yeah.
I think we do get quite a few offsides against us because, you know, if you're holding your line, you don't have to defend the goal, you know, you don't have to make the save. It's really important. We all know that from certain other games as well, when you're looking at Henderson's leg and you're thinking, please don't, please don't be over the line. And luckily it wasn't. Just a great game then. I haven't heard anything. There was a fan, this was planned a while ago, wasn't it? The FSG out protest was supposed to be before today's game. I didn't hear anything about it. I think that all kind of died down, you know, all the big, like, we haven't bought anybody, you know, FSG out. We haven't lost a game yet. We're rotating players. We're missing players. We've won in Europe. And we've come back a few days later and won in the Premier League. Squad doesn't really look tired. We're missing Elliot. You know, all these things are happening and we're still getting the points. We're still playing well.
Yeah.
So I think all these people have just disappeared back under their rocks. And you won't hear from them again, maybe until possibly we lose a game or two, and then they'll be back out with their FSG out. We should have bought somebody. Kind of crap, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, they must have watched our FSG show and realised it was just pointless. That's the way I think it was.
I reckon.
Yeah, like I said, you know, if we're gonna do protests over FSG over the transfer window or anything, it just seems pointless to attempt it.
Well, if they did do it, it didn't bloody work because nobody heard fuck all about it.
I know.
Like
I haven't seen anything.
The crappiest signs of plan and process, 3 o'clock kickoff. Nobody's fucking watching, and nobody heard anything.
I didn't see anything. I didn't see any planes flying over or anything like that. I mean, I can understand.
Milan at Anfield, everyone's just happy, and you can't really complain about that, can you?
Well, it's just like, you know, the Man United fans now seem to quiet down a bit after the transfer window activity. Like you see, like Man United fans wearing a new Ronaldo shirt with the gold and green scarf, which is a bit ironic. But I mean,
even the Arsenal fans, because they were all cronkies out and they're not buying the new kit, and then, you know, you see them out like, oh, actually this shirt looks quite nice, I'm gonna get my new Arsenal shirt, you know.
They do always do banging shirts though, to be fair.
They just can't not get them.
They always bring them, just too good not to buy. But I mean, like I said, we covered it in the show, didn't we? You know, I'm very much just keep an eye on FSG. I'm definitely not supporter of them, but I'm definitely not gonna try and, you know, throw them out the offices.
There's not really affecting my life right now. All right, let's go through the last few comments a minute now then. Don't know who this is because I can't see what that symbol is, but welcome and thank you for watching. Salah will overtake Gerrard, Drogba and Giggs this season for all-time Premier League goals. That's when he'll be cemented as a Premier League legend. From there, he will only keep rising up the ranks. What a beautiful, beautiful comment. For me, he is already a legend. For me, he was already a legend when we won the Champions League with him. I think that season he became a legend in my mind. And then again, the next season we won the Premier League. He was a legend doubly then. But in some people's eyes, we've had this discussion. Not sure why. I think even Micah Richards came out, didn't he? And he said when he played with him for 6 months at one point, he always said to him, he said that he always said that he loves Liverpool and he would love to play for Liverpool and that he's a great player and he doesn't understand why he doesn't get the respect he deserves. Even Gary Neville, a lot of people are coming out. It's quite funny they're coming out now and saying it, but we've known this since we won the Champions League, you know. At first it was always just a one season wonder, and then the second season he did it, and it's just like, really? So yeah, for me, he was a legend from when we won the Champions League with him. Absolutely world-class player. Zaha was quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was constantly moaning.
Daddy Milner had him in his pocket.
Absolutely.
And then you got a hard game against Brentford next week.
Well, they're off to a good start, aren't they? Like,
yeah.
they're not.
So were Crystal Palace after the international break.
Well, they won today as well, Brentford.
I know. Did you see? Yeah, because they're Tony. He's the one to watch, isn't he? Their striker.
Yeah.
I just don't fear anybody with our back line and with Alisson. I don't feel fearful of any of these lower teams strikers necessarily with our back line. It might sound overconfident, I don't know, but I mean, against say Chelsea, for example, with Lukaku, I was nervous then, and I was fine. So from that, I'm just like, it's fine. All we need to do is score. All we need to do is score. That's the only part that I get about is scoring a goal. But I'm feeling pretty confident with all these clean sheets.
Yeah.
I could eat my words next week, Anthony, but I'm feeling pretty confident about our back line, even when it's rotated, that, yeah, we'll be fine. We just got to get a goal. Some more comments. Mr. Silver Fox from Armory TV, another fluky win. Yeah, 3-0 is such a
Arsenal.
Oh, do you mean for you, Mr. Silver Fox?
Yeah, it means for Arsenal today.
See 1-0 win. Do you know what? A win is a win. I wouldn't even care about how you got it or where it came from. Arteta's going to be in the hot tub with some champagne tonight. I'm doing it. I'm keeping my job. Does that make you happy or is it worse? If you really wanted a manager out, would you just want your team to lose so it gets them out? Or do you just think, you know what, let's stick with him. Let's do this properly. For me, I think you just need to back him now. You're in the frying pan. Just handle the heat. Stick with it.
When you're at the bottom, you've got to beat the teams around you. And, done that against Norwich. Now today against Burnley. These relegation 6-pointers and you're coming out on top. So, fair play.
Do you know what I mean? You just don't want to be up against Bristol City next season. That's all. They will have you. Reese, I did say I wanted Konate to play and Klopp delivered. I think he listened to you, Reese. He watches our shows and I told him Reese wants Konate on. Mr. Silver Fox, don't be silly. Yeah, Mr. Silver Fox, I hope you are talking about your game and not ours. Nothing fluky about a 3-0. Let's go back up. Let's see. Thanos 78. Good eve. Is it evening now or is it afternoon? Amundi always tells me off. Yeah, to me it's evening. Samikas deserves more time.
Yeah,
he's getting time. And I mean, you can say someone deserves something, but what has Robertson done to not deserve? You can argue for both of them, but I do like that he is being rotated in. I like that position's being rotated because Robertson will never say he's tired. He doesn't even want to be rotated. I bet he was really pissed off about it, to be honest. I bet he was like, fuck's sake, I want to sit on the bench. But yeah, he does. He is a great second player for that position. Pyro Destiny, great content, guys. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Amundi. Klopp is annoyingly so defensive. As Potsy says, Palace weren't a walkover. Pep being held by the Saints demonstrates Klopp's superior philosophy.
Do you want to just screenshot that and just have that as the title above our heads going forward?
I'll clip this later and we'll just do that.
Exactly. Amanda just hit the nail on the head.
Exactly. This is the exact thing. And like we said with Thiago, everybody that comes in, we have a way we play. It doesn't matter who's on the pitch. we could play with all the subs, we could play with all the under 16s, and we would still play the same way. We'll play the same game the same way, and it might adapt to the team we're playing. But yes, we have a philosophy, and ours, heavy metal football, will always win out against Pep. And I haven't seen their game today, but I find it hilarious with all this fuss that's come out as well, him begging fans to come. What a way to piss off your fan base, criticize them for not coming to the stadium. And I think, when you took this job on, you knew kind of the state of what the fan base was and everything. They already get a bit of stick, don't they, for not filling the state? Like they get a bit of stick already for that. I don't think he's helped that situation at all. I think he should have a bit more respect, to be honest, and come out and say stuff like this. You need to show your fan base love. I think it was a bit, for Pep, I think it was a bit disrespectful, to be honest.
It's not the first time he's done it either since he's been at Man City. Did it a few years back when he was practically begging fans to turn up for the Champions League games. I don't know what it is with, because they've pretty much filled the stadium for the Premier League games so far. They've probably done so today as well, but I don't know why, like the Champions League games, like apparently they've always, like Man City fans have always not liked UEFA, but it's like, they keep accepting, the little bribes that they get to make sure that he's still in the Champions League every year. So what have you got against UEFA? Like, I don't get it, me. Like, I just, they wonder why there's so much banter about the empty hat. And City being plastic, and Champions League nights, half the stadium's in there. Like, you're not helping yourselves with that argument.
No, but at the same time, you as a manager, that's not your business.
No, of course not.
Manage the team. You're just supposed to thank the ones that are there. I could never see Klopp coming out and saying, "Oh, nobody's coming. You need to come." Like, we will go out and he will clap the fans and show them that he cares that they're there. I just think it was a bit of a strange thing. I think Pep's a little bit of an ego one, isn't he? Like Jose, a little bit egotistical.
You've got he's gone from obviously a full new camp and Allianz Arena, to the Etihad, and it's definitely a culture shock for him. But I think the problem with it as well is just disrespectful to like the diehard City fans, the ones who are there at main roads, the ones who do turn up every week. Because the fact is, Man City were always, a 30 to 35,000 attendance until they moved into a new stadium, and it's not, the diehard fans who have been there during the hard times and everything. They're sort of getting thrown in, along
like
with the comments.
100 years old, isn't it?
It's been around for a long time.
And like you said, there are fans that were there before all of this happened, and it's not fair to them to constantly have this put on them, and it's not necessarily those diehard fans' fault that they expanded the stadium to ridiculous amounts, and now they can't fill it, and the prices are so high. I don't like some of the ways Pep does anyway, and I would take Klopp over Pep anytime, any day, anywhere, and I'm sure most
100%.
people will.
100%.
He makes it all feel like a family. The way he includes all the players, the way we treat our youngsters and stuff. I love him. I love the way we play as well. And you're right, Amundi. Like you just made our day with that comment. You two have such great chemistry. We enjoy your podcast. Look, we've even managed to do home and away, haven't we?
We have.
Yay. Reese, great podcast. Thank you.
Reese.
You're making us blush now. Nicholas is our other FTV panelist.
Nick.
3 points, 3 goals, can't be bad, and there's not much that'll phase us. It feels like that. It really does. Hi guys and the Kop Talk fans. Hi Nick. Goal difference is definitely going to play its part. I fully believe this season, more than any season, that's for a long time, goal difference can be huge impacts on the difference between even maybe 3 places, possibly. I mean, after Christmas, it could just all go to shit, and it might just be, us and Man City running away with it again. I can't see that happening. But But, Man U and Chelsea, they are all up in it, and they've strengthened their squad. So it is the top 4 that are challenging. But we'll have to see who can hold out, who can take the pace until after Christmas. And like we were saying, we've got Klopp. Klopp's philosophy, his tactics, his style, it shines out no matter who's playing. Pep, not so much, but he does have a great squad, and he does have a style of play and a tactic philosophy. And then you go to Chelsea, Tuchel's definitely implementing his.
Yeah.
And then you go to Man United, and it's just really strange. It's just really strange what is going on there, I know they've brought Ronaldo in, and there's a lot of criticism because, in the young boys game, he was on the touchline next to Ollie, shouting instructions out. And I said, look, he's going to be the manager. Like, he wants to run the show. He's not going to want to listen to Ollie because he's that big in his mind as well as in presence and everything. He's going to want to tell people where to go and what to do. And it's just how that's going to pan out. We will see.
I mean, that's the thing with Man United. We all say it. They're winning because of the players, not because of the manager. Because they do have a lot of great players and they play some good attacking football. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, when you need to be a little bit clever tactically, Ollie just isn't able to do it. He just doesn't know. You're 1-0 up against Young Boys. Yes, you're down to 10 men, but you're half time. You make such a negative substitution. You go straight to trying to just stay back and take the waves of attacks. Like you're Manchester United. You still got some great players on the pitch. Let them control the game. And you look at Ronaldo.
Lingard ends up taking all the flack. Ultimately, at the end of the game, Lingard took all the flack. But why were they having to deal with so much pressure on a defense anyway? He probably was lost and thinking, what's going on, and just passed it. I mean, he should have looked or whatever, but to bring that much pressure on yourselves, like he clearly just cannot think. I don't know, but setting up a 5-back versus Young Boys in Europe, that's not the way you do Champions League,
It's not the way Man United should do it. And I mean, even a point against Young Boys would have been disheartening for them because it would have been a result of Ollie's tactics. It's not because, Young Boys, fair play to them, put a lot of pressure on. But it's more down to Ollie's tactics that's cost them anything in that game than anything else. And that's, like you say, that's the problem. You look at us, you look at Man City, you look at Chelsea, our managers can walk into a top 4 job in any country in the world. Ollie wouldn't get another top 4 job. You'll be lucky to get a top 10 job here. You're lucky to get a top 10 job in League One. He's just not good enough in himself to be able to do it. And you look at someone like Ronaldo, who's been managed by Sir Alex Ferguson, Carlo Ancelotti, Zinedine Zidane, and now he's ended his career next to a PE teacher. It's just, I can see if things don't improve, I can see Ronaldo getting rid of Ollie. So it will be Ronaldo's decision.
We just want to see how this drama pans out because it feels like a bit of a TV show. I mean, I know Arsenal were doing the All or Nothing. I wish it was on
Manchester United.
That would be gold dust watching Ronaldo in that dressing room after Young Boys. But they lost when he was at Juventus. They lost to Young Boys as well, 2-1. So it's a familiar feeling for him.
Very true.
Silver Fox, as much as I believe Arteta isn't the right man, I never want us to lose. I get that. It's just obviously in some situations, if you keep winning and you want your manager out that bad, that's the only way it's going to happen. So some people have been in that situation, I guess. Yes, the Monday Reese. Hey, everyone's loving it. After 6 p.m. is evening. Thank you, Nick. I needed that. I will make a note of that in my show notes. But I usually say evening all the time, so I need to get out of that habit. Big up and Nicholas, another good win. Why don't you want to show? They're having a chat now. Oh, right. I clicked the button too many times. Nicholas, rotation is necessary. And with the games, there have to be priorities in personnel. This is it. Potsy, I've got it. It must have been a while ago, but hey.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. Don't know what it is, Nick, but I'm glad you did, mate. I'm glad.
You enjoy it, mate. You enjoy it. Anthony, I've got to say it's been Liverpool this season, not Liverpool. When you won the league.
Go.
I'm not even getting onto that.
Nah.
Don't bite to those comments anymore because it just doesn't bother me. Just, you know. One Touch TV. Evening, Nigel. I'm just going to call you Nigel because I always get your other name wrong. Make sure you subscribe to One Touch TV as well. He's panelist on our Armory TV. Check them out, FTB, the Armory TV, our Arsenal channel. Great show. I think people are making too much of these Pep comments. He said what he said. He said what he said. It's a very big statement. I don't think he said it lightly. To come out and basically say that he wants more fans to come and watch the games when he must know what's said about Man City fans in these banter groups and on media and joking. Everybody sees it. So he knows the kind of backstory behind that. So if he's going to come out and say, you know, we need your help versus Southampton because, you know, it's going to be a tricky game or whatever, he knows what he's doing. He knows he's stirring trouble.
Was it a necessary comment? That's, you know, you've just come off the back of a 6-3 win, first game in the Champions League. Was it a necessary comment to come out with? You know, just focus on the game if it's, you know, not that big of a deal. Clearly to Pep it is a big deal. And that's what's upset the Man City fans. Like, remember the first time he mentioned, you know, needing the team to be there for the Champions League, there wasn't really much of a reaction to it. But I think now because Man City, what he's done with Man City is turn them into arguably one of maybe at the moment the best team in the country. He's created this dynasty, and I think there may have been an expectation from Pep that would have meant that there would have been full stadiums every single game, because you know, especially you know, we think as well coming back off like the pandemic, you know, fans finally allowed to be back in the stadiums. Like it's like a 30-year wait to get a season ticket at Anfield. And all I need to do is just go on Welcher and get a ticket for Man City. Like, it's, you know, this is meant to be the best team in the country. So, I think for me, I can understand where people are coming from in terms of Pep. And I think Pep knew exactly what he was doing with that comment.
Yeah. I mean, say he said what he said. Nobody just comes out to the press and releases something of his stature and he's not a stupid man. You know,
No.
He's like some young, fresh in the famous world. He knew what he was doing. He planned to say that. You don't just say random comments like that. You know, he knew he was lighting some touch paper with that comment. Also, One Touch TV, big up Salah, bossing English Premier League from FPL, Fantasy Premier League for me right now. Keep it up, Mo. I still think Liverpool finished third, as Klopp still doesn't know his best 11.
Doesn't need to know it.
We don't need a top 11, but if we did have a top 11, I will let you know, because you said this at the other game. Our first 11, Alisson, Robertson, Virgil, Matip, Trent, Henderson, Thiago, Fabinho, Mane, Salah, Bobby. That is the first 11.
Yeah.
If we need to rotate, we rotate. It makes no difference to us, because guess what? We still haven't lost a game and we've been rotating. If you want to believe that that's going to make us drop points because we don't have to have one first 11 team, come and find us on Thursday for Kop Talk and we can discuss that further. But to me, that comment makes no sense at all.
Scott, you don't win the league with just the 11 on the pitch every week. You need to rotate. And you know, for our team at the moment as well, it's, you know, it's working. You know, you think we've made 3 changes to the defense today and we came away with another clean sheet. You know, against a team that under Viera is scoring goals, you know, so and like I said, they were, especially in the second half, they put quite a bit of pressure on us, but our defense didn't let them really have many opportunities. Because
like bread and gravy,
exactly. But so I think
you're seeing that. Look at Man City. Do they know their starting 11? Like, have they got a solidified starting 11? These teams that are coming up now, if I know he's an Arsenal fan, so you know the idea of having to be in numerous competitions is a bit alien to them right now, you know. But when you're in Champions League and Premier League and the cup games, you can't just have one 11 team. Like we did kind of do that when we won the Champions League. We just had one starting 11, and it was kind of like that was that pretty much, you know. And they had to do everything. I like that now that we can have other players.
Oh yeah.
Starting 11's expanded, so
if you want to compete for every trophy, which we should be able to, then that's where the rotation becomes necessary.
Yeah,
it's, you know, as simple as that, and that's where, you know, Klopp seems to be happy with the options that he's got.
Yeah, because we've done the Champions League, we've done the Prem. The next step for us would be doing a double. You know, I mean, we can win again, but if we wanted to next time level up, I'm not saying that we can do that this season. I think next summer we're going to get some stuff in, but that would be the next level up from that, wouldn't it? Evening Talk MU. I've had you in that little corner for a while, sorry, but thank you for joining in. Thank you for coming and seeing us. He's back again, One Touch TV. The players run United, not Ollie. So why is everyone surprised about Ronaldo shouting instructions on the sidelines? The manager doesn't have a clue. I wasn't surprised. I said this when Ronaldo came in. I said Ronaldo is going to be the manager. Ronaldo is going to tell Ollie what he wants him to do. I think some people say, oh, I don't think he will because he's got a bit too much respect for that. Listen, when shit hits the fan and you're losing against young boys in Europe, I don't think Ronaldo will give two fucks who he's telling it to. He's going to be angry and he's going to say it. And I have heard rumors that people like Bruno will tell Ollie that he wants to play or whatever. Personally, I think if Ollie wants to manage these big personalities, he needs to just get some balls and he needs to just command respect from them. If you're going to let people do that, then obviously they are just going to take the piss. If he wants this job, he needs to start setting the ground rules down. I think he's just quite happy to let them know, to be honest. I don't think he really minds. Talk MU, we can't excuse Lingard's lack of concentration, Gems. He shouldn't have been under that much pressure, though, to be fair. You're playing young boys. You've got Pogba, Bruno, Varane, Maguire. He should not. You've got, what was it, Luke Shaldinho, you know? Why is Lingard in that position under that much pressure in the first place, you know? Should never have been in that position against that team in that competition at that minute. Nicholas, you know, Man United is a soap opera. Do you know what I mean? All or Nothing featuring Ronaldo and Solskjaer. That would be fucking epic. It was a while ago and I've got the screenshot.
Was that Monty's comments?
Might be, yeah. Oh, yeah. When he said he's got it. Right.
Got Monty's comments. Right.
We're a bit
I was really confused.
Sorry.
I didn't know if it was something in the group chat or whatever.
I know, because the comments didn't come up straight away. Sorry, guys. Talk MU, if Palace could score, you would have got done today, no doubt about it. What's all this ifs for? Do you know what I mean? If you could score, you would have beat young boys. I don't understand this ifs in football. Like, we won 3-0. It wasn't 1-0 either. And it's not like...
Has talk expanded on that?
You know?
Has talk expanded on that?
No.
Can you expand on that? I want to know why, if they would have scored, we would have got done. I'm really... Like, we're not really a team that just go down and then that's it. We proved that against AC Milan. You know, we got, our systems absolutely shook up by what happened in that minute, but we came back and won the game in the second half. So, yeah, I'm quite interested in that comment, to be honest, Talk, mate.
It's a strange one because you implying that they would have got 4 because we scored 3. So I don't really know what you're implying here. And I don't know if you've seen our defense tested properly, but even if they could score, our defense is pretty fucking top class, mate. Edward Brown, good evening. Welcome. I love that you've come to join us. What a game from Kanate today. Clean sheet, and that is all you can ask for from a centre-back on their debut. Clean sheet, and I can't wait to see him a bit more because he loves to do some of them Matic runs through the midfield. He's a fast boy. He's a big boy, and I like it. I really like. People say no transfers were bought. Look at the guy. we can rotate our 2 centre backs, like literally every 2 we can rotate. Like, how nice is that feeling? Anthony, yeah, and having Nat Phillips, yeah. Gemma, Bristol City beat QPR 2-1, so both teams are winning. Happy days. I love my Bristol City, absolutely love them. Going to be keeping an eye on them this season as well. Pyro Destiny, the fans were called out and they were salty. Pep is the difference between the top teams. They can't afford to lose him. So this is going back to Pep's comments about the fans not coming.
It will be interesting because I think when any manager that's built a dynasty, when that manager goes, you know, it does hit the teams hard. There's no such thing as a boot room anymore. And you look at Man United since Fergie left, they still haven't recovered. Arsenal under Wenger are now, you know, trying to get out the bottom 10. So the only team who really do it right is Chelsea. They're just, you know, thanks for the title, but, you know, you're sacked. We're bringing the next guy. And it seems to work for them. It just seems to work. Obviously, whoever takes over Pep will have the resources. But, yeah, I do suspect they will go through a dip. Well, I think they'll still win trophies, but they won't win 2 or 3 a season as they have been.
Yeah, and I mean, with that bunch of players, you need to know, you can't just stick them all out. You kind of still need to know where to put people. It's probably not harder, but, you know, you've got a lot of players to choose from, and picking the right fit within that bunch of players and who works well with who. That's a tricky one as well, you know.
Yeah,
it's all good having like all these top class players, but is knowing where to play who and to ask what from them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like being a international manager, but having loads of like lovely players. It's like, oh, who should I play and where and how should I get them to play? And then it could all just go horribly wrong, and you could be the France with the Euros. And just no chemistry. Paradestiny, Arsenal are going to win the league. Oh, leave them alone. Leave them alone. I think that they're going to be all right. I really do.
They will be.
Edward Brown, he doesn't know his 11 because all of our players are class and he wants to give them a chance to play. This is it. This is the thing with Klopp. If you show in training, you give 100%, you earn your spot, you get a go.
Exactly.
Nobody's spot is just given. Like, if you're playing shit, you're coming off. It just happens to be that none of our players are shit. Well, I won't say that, but they're not. We haven't got no Freds. Remember, we were saying that we haven't got any Freds that way that just get a starting spot regardless of their performance. Nicholas, if we had a first 11, there would be banter on not having a deeper squad. Exactly. One Touch TV, you're misunderstanding my point. My point is he doesn't know his best 11, so against top 6 sides, results will be interesting. We already played Chelsea, mate. Top 6 sides. I don't think there is a top 6. There is a top 4, and that is us, Man City, Man United, and Chelsea, and that is it. And I'm sorry, and no disrespect to anybody else in the Premier League. I don't think anybody beneath those 4 are anywhere near that level. I really don't. No disrespect to Spurs or Arsenal, but I don't think of you as a top 6. I think this season more than ever, it just shows that it's a top 4, and I'm not scared of playing any of those teams at all.
No, I've never been under Klopp. Like, Klopp, I think, has got a really good record against the top 6 since he's been with us. And yeah, I get the point in terms of having like a settled 11 going into, you know, one of the big games. Obviously, Man City, you know, at the start of October. It's only a couple of weeks away. So I do understand where he's coming from in regards to that. But I honestly feel that he is comfortable with the options. If he has to rotate, because you never know, you might get injuries, you might get suspensions. It happens. So yeah, I feel, you know, Klopp, I think given the players' games now, especially like Kostas Tsimikas, get Konate involved today as well. Obviously, we've had pretty much every one of our midfielders. Curtis Jones has finally got a Premier League appearance this season. So I think apart from Minamino, our entire midfield has played in the Premier League so far this year. So, you know, he wants to get, yeah, exactly. It's preparations, given those players the game times now against the teams that we should be beating. Yeah, you know, helps them build a bit of confidence, helps them build a bit of match fitness, and then look, if he has to use them, if anyone's injured or suspended from what we would consider to be our regular 11, then he's got the confidence in the players to be able to come in and do the job.
And I mean, like we just said, we have got a starting 11. We have, and Klopp knows our first 11, because there are certain games where you just think, right, we know what the first 11 is going to be. He does know that. So I don't understand. I mean, I kind of know what you're saying, like against the tougher teams. But again, it's the state of the players at the time. It's whatever games are happening around that week. You know, this week we've had a Champions League game, a Premier League game, and on Tuesday we've got an EFL game. So you can't just plan every game as if it's the last game. You need to look and plan for the future and shake it all up.
They didn't do so bad at Old Trafford with Phillips and Williams at centre back last year. So
this is it, you know. And going back to when we were talking about Thiago, and he said that he has to fit into the way we play. I just don't understand. We have a starting 11, but we have players that can come in and we have options. So we don't have to just play one way. We can switch it up by just switching on, like swapping off 2 or 3 players. We can change up the whole style of the game. That's what I love about our midfield right now. It's quite exciting. One Touch TV, with no number 9, you aren't doing a double, although I know you don't want to hear it. Great result, though. I didn't say we are going to do a double. I said that would be the level up. And I did say, can't see that this season. I did say that. I said, however, next summer, I think we buy some people like we're supposed to be. That would be the level up, because we have done the Champions League and we have done the Premier League. So in terms of winning stuff for a manager and a team under Klopp, that would be the level up, would be doing a double, because he's already won everything.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree. We do definitely need to get a goal scorer in at some point, just someone that can come off the bench when things aren't looking too great and put it in the back of the net, which, you know, is the only thing that's sort of gone from Firmino's Arsenal. He's got everything else. It's just the finishing. But you know, when you think back,
Kop's thoughts on with Kop talking on Thiago, saying he brings something different. It just even more makes me think that he has got plans to bring one in. I just think something happened this transfer window that it didn't happen, and that's why he held on to Origi. I think that he has got some plans in place. It would really shock me if he hadn't got any plans at all. But like Jota, we were watching him for 2 seasons. I think there is plans in place, and I do think he wants to have that option on the bench. He doesn't want to just have one option for our team to play. So I don't doubt that will happen at some point.
I mean, I would say we have shown in the past that we can come very close to doing the double without a number 9. Like the title charge we get with Manchester City, when the season we won the Champions League, we finished 1 point behind them, 97 points. We did that without a goal scorer.
That hurt.
Yeah, it did. We were literally, you know,
I know.
You see all the tweets online and everything. We're, you know, 1 centimetre away from an invincible season, Premier League, Champions League winning double. So, you know, we can go far.
Going to that comment, I don't think the number 9 is necessarily the issue with not doing a double.
No, that's what I'm saying.
A little bit more depth, yeah.
Obviously, we didn't have the depth that season, but you know, we just had great players who obviously came in and did the job week in, week out. And I think the only thing you really need is just consistency. Like, we've never depended on a number 9 since Klopp's been there. We depend on Salah more than anything. And
how
I think for
dependable
me,
is he?
Yeah, exactly. I think for me, our biggest concern will be AFCON. That would be, you know, the biggest thing that will stop us from really doing anything this season. Yeah. But if we get a good start now and Salah keeps up his form now, you know, who knows what position we'll be in come that.
Yeah. And I mean, this is it. If we're in a good position by then and we've been rotating the team, then, you know, they might be able to hold us up. We have to have faith. This AFCON thing happens. We know it happens. We just have to get what we can out of the players when we do have them. And when they go off, we have to just try and make sure we have got contingency plans for that. And yeah, rotating them in now is just helpful. It's not just bringing in some people that have been on the bench, rusting up, and getting a run out constantly. Nicholas, One Touch TV. I think Klopp knows his first 11, but we have a deep enough squad to go deep in competitions. Yeah. We haven't had a number 9 yet, and we won the Premier League, the Champions League, and the World Cup champs. You tell him, Nicholas. You tell him. I could come on. I mean, we're going to wrap up in a minute, Nick, but I think definitely if One Touch TV wants to delve deeper into this on Thursday, we can have a big discussion on how to win the Champions League. We can teach Arsenal fans what it feels like, you know. Edward Brown, but we didn't get done, did we? Because Naby Laz. Yeah, exactly. Talk MU. I feel Palace would have just kept you quiet had they scored and sat back. We don't sit quietly. We don't do that. We're not Ollie. This is Klopp.
I mean, it is fair, especially from last season. We did struggle against the so-called smaller teams when they, went 1-0 up, especially with the defensive issues that we had. But I think honestly, this season we are just a different beast. And I think the worst thing a team can do against us is just sit back right now. And I don't think that's Viera's style either with this Palace team. He does like to have a go. I think even if Zaha scored that chance in the second minute, I think we would have came back and got the dub.
Yeah, they're getting into it a little bit here. So Nicholas has said Nicholas, just an opinion, mate. Edward saying talk MU, but Alisson was keeping Benteke and Edward quiet. So they had some chances but couldn't score. Man City have the league already. Let's be honest. We are all in Pep's shadow. He just can't get over the line in the Champions League. We're not in his shadow at all. We're, as a Liverpool fan, us and Man City have been dominating for a while now, and it's you lot that have got to catch up to us. And actually, the season that we won, they were quite a few points from us, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, Pep set the bar. We have joined him on that. Obviously, last season, I don't care what anyone says, it's clearly down to the defense. And just look at how well we've started this season with a fit defense. Oh no, that's a massive surprise. Oh look, Liverpool playing great because they've got the world's best centre back and Virgil van Dijk. Like it's, last season was just a freak incident. But generally, we're up there with Man City for the last 2 or 3 years. We're competing with them regularly. I think Chelsea are probably the next team to join up the bar now this season. Obviously, it'll be up to Tuchel to prove it this year. Personally, I just don't see Man United reaching that level while they've still got Ollie in charge. Yeah,
they've got a brilliant team, an amazing team. And I'm sure in their dreams, if they imagine Pep or Klopp with their team that it is right now, the things that they could do, the heights that they could reach. And I think they know themselves that under Ollie, it's never going to reach that peak that it could be. That potential is never going to be truly released until they get a better manager. It's One Touch TV. You drew at home to Chelsea with 10 men, no?
You lost at home to Chelsea. It's like
if you didn't
Chelsea.
Watch that game, then I can't help you with that one, because that game, that game was frustrating as hell.
Does anyone understand Tuchel though? Has anyone seen him since he's been in the Premier League? His teams are just so well organized.
Yeah.
And literally, he
won the Champions League, for fuck's sake, and he'd only been with them. How long was he with them?
I don't know. So after a few months.
3 months? And
3 or 4.
Won
just after the January transfer window, I think.
Yeah.
He went on to win a Champions League because the teams are well organised against the likes of Real Madrid, obviously Man City. For me, obviously I was annoyed at the end of that game, not gonna lie. We should have took advantage. We couldn't, but it's still a very well organised Chelsea side that have some of the best defensive players in the league. Probably, maybe, potentially the best defensive coach in the league in terms of Tuchel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that as yeah, that's basically it. You know, it wasn't a case of we
As
just
soon
couldn't
as
break them
they,
down because it's hard when they've got 6 men on the line.
this is
You
it.
know?
As soon as the red card came out, that was it. They were just all parked, lined up. Nobody wanted to really push out. All they had was Lukaku jogging around, getting pissed off in between Matip and Virgil. And
but then this was the difference when you actually look at that.
Mendy and Rudiger
Tuchel,
were fantastic as well that game. But it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like we didn't try. It wasn't like it was easy for them either, you know. My memories of that game is just a long line of Chelsea players on the end of their penalty box, just trying to get the ball out and just trying to get rid of it out of their area.
But then this is where like the discussion in terms of the management comes in. Like Tuchel, you know, we went in that game. We, you know, they got the red card. We scored a penalty, half time, 1-1. So Tuchel takes off a winger, I think, and then goes back to make sure he can go back to 5 at the back. Whereas Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes down to 10 men, is 1-0 up, and then takes off a midfielder to go 5 at the back.
Yeah.
Like, this is, you know, and this is the levels that we're talking about. And Tuchel, you know, played his part absolutely brilliantly in that game. And like I said, yeah, it's annoying, but if you're going to drop a couple of points against anyone, it's going to be one of your nearest rivals.
This is what I'm saying, you know. They were the team out of all of the teams in the Premier League that this season, the way they play and the way we play, that I feared the most, because it's Tuchel and the way he sets his teams up. He was the one. Chelsea were the one team I was like, oh shit, I fear them more than United and City. So yeah, before the game, we all said a draw wouldn't be the end of the world, wouldn't be crying about it. It was just the manner of how it happened that was frustrating. But at the end of the day, they parked the bus for 45 minutes, and there's no getting through that. Very expensive, shiny, well-oiled, that well-oiled bus that knows it runs perfectly, doesn't it? Edward Brown, is Thiago injured? Just a muscle calf thing, nothing major, no. So, I mean, we got Norwich Tuesday. I'm sure we'll be back for the next game after that. Edward Brown, I hear you, but what was the score? And did Chelsea have 10 men? Right, we've just gone over that anyway. One Touch TV. Why has Klopp never given Origi a proper run of games? He's done everything to deserve at least a chance, especially now. Okay. Origi was one of our star players, right, Potts? Got injured, came out. Bobby came in. Bobby was so phenomenally good at what we needed from him to do that he just never managed to get his way back in. It is well known. I don't know if it's 100% factually true or not, but it is known that Origi is lazy in training. That has been a rumor that's been around for a while. I'm not sure how true it is, but it was same with Shaqiri. And Klopp has high expectations. If you don't give 100% all day, every day in training, you are not starting. We can't see behind the scenes. We don't see what happens in training. So to me, for you to say he's done everything to deserve at least a chance, especially now, for one, I'd have to say, why especially now? For two, I'd have to say he played versus Milan. And if you watched our show, we praised him and we said that he was great and we were all really impressed with him. So already that's kind of counter-argued 2 of your points, because he did get a game and we did appreciate what he did. The reason he hasn't really been before is because we play in a way where Bobby fits that role better. And I'd have to say last season, he didn't do everything to prove he deserved anything.
He hasn't done anything for 2 years.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything since the Champions League win. Like, so, yeah, I'm a bit confused by that comment.
He thinks he's done to deserve,
you know, confused by that comment, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
I mean, you know, we've
want to buy him. You want to buy him?
Hey, you know, have him. Give us Saka. We'll take Saka.
Yeah,
you can have
definitely.
You can have Origi. Yeah, quite confused by that one.
Yeah, there is rumours he's going in January, and that's possibly why he was played versus Milan, but we shall see. Nicholas answering, one touch, Klopp did, and Origi was unplayable until the game against Everton. Origi got injured and couldn't force a start regularly since then. Even Joe Gomez and Virgil, they were our two first centre-backs. Gomez got injured, Matip came in, and he took that top spot off of Gomez.
Yeah.
You've then got to fight for your place back in. Nobody has a given spot in our team. It's whoever's playing the best. You fight and you keep it, and you have to keep continually fighting to keep your spot, and that's just the way it is in a top team. Our Solo 7 from the Man United Agenda. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Good win today. It I'm not gonna lie, I love the fucking team, and it felt so good. Like 3-0 win after that game versus Milan. The Chelsea game felt a bit, but you know what? We haven't lost a game.
No.
Amundi, success breeds hateration. It's a compliment. Other fans are questioning you. I should know after years under.
That's the problem is that United fans are questioning themselves now as well. That's the thing.
Yeah, you know, they're feeling the other side of it, and it is crazy, you know, how I can remember saying this.
Right,
you're only one manager away from being a shit team. Do you know what I mean? And it's crazy and it's scary when you get to that point where you've got such a great manager. It's almost like you don't want to look into the distance. I don't want to look. I'm just going to enjoy it. What you're having now, where we are now, I'm just going to enjoy it, you know.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely right with that. I hate Man United mainly because they were the most successful team around when I was growing up, and yeah, I hate the fact that you know, they could be potentially coming back in terms of the team that they've got, but luckily they've got Ollie managing them. Yeah.
I even, like, going off topic a little bit, I even saw a clip today. They were playing, I can't remember the name of the team now. Paul Ince was the captain of the team. What was the team?
Wolves?
Yeah, Wolves, and the orange kit. And they were, Roy Keane was the captain from Man U and Paul Ince on the other team, and they were queuing up to come out in the tunnel. And Roy Keane was just like pissed off. And I think Paul Ince was still getting changed. And so Paul Ince is supposed to walk them all out, innit? And Roy Keane's just got fucked off and said, "Oh, do you know what? Fuck this." And he's just walked the team out. And the refs are like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Come on," I'm bloody waiting on him. Like, what's he taking so long? I'm like, wow, they're a long way from those times having players like that, aren't they? A long way.
That was a generational team.
Yeah. They'll be hugging in the tunnels now. One Touch TV, do you think this squad can win the league? Of course.
Yeah.
They already did. Pretty much this squad that we have now won the league, and it's stronger than the one that did win the league. So yeah, of course I do. You have to park the bus playing with 10 men. Not necessarily, but against Liverpool at Anfield, yeah, you do.
I just think, I don't know if that's in regards to, well, is that in regards to Chelsea or the Young Boys game solo? Because I don't think you, against Young Boys, I think with the quality he still had in the midfield, you could have went 4-4-1 and still just at least kept control of the game. I don't think you had to park the bus, like, especially that early. You know, you literally came out in the second half, you know, in the bus. Like that just brought the end. That just sort of, you know, that basically is what gave Young Boys the confidence, because they knew they were gonna, you know, dominate that game. You know, from that point on, it was a negative change and it affected the team. So I get where you're coming from, and in a lot of situations, it's definitely best to park up. I just don't think against, you know, the best team in Switzerland, you could have to. I really don't.
It's the best team in Switzerland. Yeah, sorry. No, they know that. I'm pretty sure he's talking about Chelsea, and I would agree. Anybody at Anfield with 10 men have to park up. I would probably agree with that. But do you know what? Anytime you park up, and I said this to them, they were doing a live thing. Anytime you park up, you just invite teams. You're basically sitting back and saying, "Come on, then have a go." That's what you're basically doing, and it just makes it even harder in some ways. because all we were doing in the Chelsea game was attacking. And like if Mendy and Rudiger hadn't been on top fine form, you know, we could have scored a few times. So I don't personally think sometimes parking the bus is easier. I think it's better to just come out and just try and hold the ball, you know, just keep the ball and keep attacking. The best way to not lose is to score, surely. So yeah, I think I'd have to argue a little bit against that, but at Anfield, yeah, it's a big ask with 10 men. And Wendy, that's because Big Time Charlie went to baby. I know who he means. Ince.
The governor.
Yeah. I'll try and find that video for you. You'll like it. And Wendy misses those days, don't you, Muns? So against Chelsea, Liverpool fans going on like they wouldn't park the bus if they went down for 10 men. Do you know what? Hand on my heart now, honestly, I don't know.
I honestly don't know what Klopp would. It's the thing. It would I suppose it would depend on the position, on the player. Like the way that we play, you know, we could essentially take off one attacker to replace them with a defender and carry on.
Yeah.
Maybe just play a little bit more narrow.
What would the like parallel be? So we're at Stamford Bridge. So what
Trent Alexander-Arnold's been sent off with a handball on the line.
Yeah.
Like you'll probably bring on Millie.
I was going to say Milner will come on for what, Mane?
He's probably having a shit game anyway, isn't he? So yeah, probably Mane. It'll be one of the attackers, I would suspect.
Yeah. I can't see him parking.
I can't see us parking the bus. No,
not the way Chelsea did.
No, I think we'll park the bus later on in the game, like because we do, you know, we find ourselves in situations we've got pressure on us, so we like to keep the shape and put ourselves in the positions to defend. So yeah, I mean, I remember when we went down to 10 men against Man City, we didn't necessarily park the bus then. We got absolutely slaughtered because of it, but we didn't park the bus again when Mane kicked Edison in the face.
Shit. Yeah, that was a heated game.
Yeah,
so quite stubborn, like Bielsa for Leeds, isn't he? He's quite stubborn. He doesn't like he doesn't like that. He says it's not football, you know. He doesn't like that. So yeah, I don't know, Solo. I really honestly, hand on my heart, believe that we wouldn't park up the way Chelsea did, or the way you did.
We definitely wouldn't the way that Chelsea did.
No, we would have balls coming out for Salah down the, you know, we would still have that initial style of play that we always do have. But Chelsea, they just stuck Lukaku up on his own and we're like, right, let's park up.
Have
fun. Right. It's getting really dark now. Don't know if you can see me anymore. I'm going to go and get some pizza on. Literally, I'm having pizza for dinner as well.
Nice.
We're still enjoying this pizza pots. It's a really nice pizza. Remember that, okay? Just remember that.
I just want a couple of extra toppings, that's all. Just a couple of extra new toppings.
I fully believe that we're going to get some toppings. Trust me.
I really hope so.
Right. It's been a lovely show.
Thank you
to everybody watching as well. Please hit the like button. Please share us. Please tell your friends about us. Yeah, I need to go now. And we will be back on Tuesday because we have got Norwich. Bless them. Right, we're out. Night.
See you later.